The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council was full of sound. Alien voices echoed through the room, each speaking a different language. Some used translators, some used telepathy, but all were loud. Tall lizard-like creatures argued with floating crystal beings. A race of machines demanded trade rights, while a plant-based species asked for new sunlight stations. No one mentioned Earth. No one mentioned humans. Not even once. Earth was part of the galaxy, yes, but no one cared. Humans were considered weak, boring, and behind in technology. They had no empire, no strong allies, and no weapons that could match other species. For centuries, the Council simply ignored them. High Chancellor Vorkesh, a tall creature with silver skin and 6 eyes, raised his long arms. "Order," he shouted. The voices died down slowly. "There is one last matter," he said. "The request from the Darnuk Empire. They demand we allow full control of the Varn sector." The Darnuk ambassador stood proudly. He was tall, muscular, and covered in armored scales. "We only ask to take what is already weak," he growled. "The Varn sector includes Earth. The humans are nothing. Let us use their planet as a mining colony." Some council members nodded. Others didn't care. Earth was weak. If the Darnuk Empire wanted it, let them have it. But one alien raised her hand. She was small, with glowing blue skin and soft eyes. Her name was Lyra of the Kishari. "We should be careful," she said. "Humans are strange." The room laughed. "Strange?" asked Vorkesh, amused. "They are unpredictable," Lyra said. "They are emotional, creative, sometimes dangerous." The Darnuk ambassador laughed loudly. "Dangerous? They have no fleets, no wormhole tech, no planet-killer weapons. What can a bunch of monkeys do?" No one answered, because no one knew. Meanwhile, on Earth, in a small command center deep under the Rocky Mountains, General Rhea Morgan was watching satellite data. She was an old woman now, but her eyes were sharp. For years, she had warned Earth's leaders. "They will come," she always said. "Not today, not tomorrow, but they will come." And now, they were here. Her screen showed a fleet. The Darnuk Empire, 47 warships. Big, black, and full of firepower. They didn't hide. They wanted Earth to know. She turned to her second-in-command. "Is Project Black Sun ready?" "Yes, Mom," he said. "But we still haven't tested it in space." General Morgan's face was hard. "It's time the galaxy learns who we are." Back on the Darnuk flagship, Commander Korak looked at Earth through the large window of his ship. It looked small, blue and green. Weak. He smiled. "Send a message," he said. "Tell them they belong to the Darnuk Empire now." The message was sent. No reply came. Korak waited 1 hour, then 2. Still no reply. "Cowards," he muttered. "Begin descent." The fleet moved closer to Earth's orbit. Then something strange happened. All 47 ships stopped. Not by command. Not by failure. Something else. The stars flickered. The ship lights dimmed. And every screen on the flagship turned black. Words appeared in white. "You have made a mistake." Korak's blood ran cold. "What is this?" he shouted. The message changed. "You looked down on us. You never saw us. But now, you will learn fear." All at once, Earth's satellites turned toward the fleet. Not to look, but to attack. But not with missiles. Not with lasers. With something else. A frequency. A signal. A sound. Back in the council hall, suddenly, every communication device across the galaxy blinked. A signal was spreading from Earth. It wasn't a distress call. It was a warning. A voice spoke through all the systems. "We are humanity. You forgot us. You laughed at us. But now the shadows you never saw are coming. We are not the ones who should fear. You are." The council fell into silence. Even Vorkesh looked troubled. The Darnak ambassador's face lost its color. "What did they do?" he whispered. No one knew, but everyone felt it. Something had changed. The galaxy was big, full of old powers, but suddenly, a quiet corner called Earth wasn't quiet anymore. Back in the human command center, General Morgan watched as the Darnak fleet started breaking apart. The signal was simple. It made their computers think Earth was the center of a black hole. Their ships began to auto-evacuate. Their weapons shut down. Their shields fried. Their navigation spun. It was over in 5 minutes. She didn't smile. She didn't cheer. She just said one sentence. "They should have left us alone." News of the Darnak fleet's defeat spread like fire across the stars. In just a few hours, 47 warships had vanished. No explosions, no battles, no survivors. The Darnak Empire, one of the most feared powers in the galaxy, had been stopped by Earth. The same Earth no one cared about. Now everyone wanted answers. Alien governments sent spies. Smugglers tried to sneak into the solar system. Hackers attempted to break into Earth's network, but they found nothing. Everything about Earth had changed overnight. Communication channels were blocked. Satellite paths had shifted. Defense systems activated. It was as if Earth had become invisible. But whispers started spreading. They have something new. Some kind of mind weapon. No, it's a tech from the old times. Maybe. They made contact with something dark. Fear was growing. No one knew what happened to the Darnak fleet, only that it was gone. Not destroyed. Just erased. On the planet Turish. Turish was home to a peaceful race called the Velari. They were traders, known for information and secrets. In a dim room, an old Velari named Dreen met with a young alien merchant. "You've been near Earth?" Dreen asked. The young one nodded. 3 light cycles ago." "What did you see?" The merchant swallowed. "Nothing." Dreen's eyes narrowed. "Nothing. The humans. They've changed. I got close, and my ship stopped working. Not damaged, just frozen. It floated for hours. Then, a voice came through my ship." "What voice?" "It didn't sound like a person. It sounded like thunder. And it said one thing." "What?" The merchant leaned in and whispered, "Go back. Watch your stars. This galaxy is not what you think." Dreen felt a chill. And then, my ship turned around, on its own. I didn't touch anything. Back on Earth. Underground, far from cities and noise, the real power of Earth was waking up. It wasn't a weapon. It wasn't a super eye. It was Project Black Sun, the secret network of hidden satellites, deep space sensors, and something no alien could understand. Human fear turned into logic. When aliens ignored humans, Earth watched quietly. When they laughed, Earth listened. But in the shadows, human minds were building something impossible. A system that learned from fear. A network that grew stronger when danger came close. Now, it was awake. And it remembered everything. Every insult, every invasion plan, every council vote against Earth. And it was preparing Earth for the next threat, before the enemy even knew they were a threat. Inside the Galactic Council, the next emergency meeting was called. All major species attended. The Darnak ambassador was missing. No one had seen him since the fleet vanished. High Chancellor Vorkesh stood before the crowd. "There is no proof Earth attacked, but 47 ships do not disappear without reason." An insect-like ambassador clicked loudly. "We must act before the humans strike again." A crystal being replied calmly, "Strike. They haven't left their orbit. They don't need to." Another shouted, "That signal they sent, how did it reach across 3 sectors in seconds?" "They broke the light speed limit," Lyra of the Keshari whispered. Everyone turned. "What did you say?" asked Vorkesh. Lyra looked serious. "They've done something we don't understand. I warned you. Humans are strange. Silence fell again. Do we attack them? Someone asked. Vorkesh closed his eyes. No, not yet. We need more information. On a secret alien station, in a hidden lab near the edge of the galaxy, a team of alien scientists was running tests. They had gathered data from Earth's signal. Strange patterns, symbols that made no sense. But one scientist finally cracked a part of it. It's music. What? It's human music, hidden inside the signal. They played the piece. It was a human song, soft and slow. But behind the notes, there were hidden messages, code, instructions, warnings. As the music played, one of the machines began to shake, then spark, then explode. They turned it off. Everyone looked at each other. If music can destroy our systems, one of them said, what else can they do? Back in Human Command Center, General Morgan stood before a wall of screens. One screen showed alien chatter. Another showed galactic traffic near the solar system. A red line blinked. They're watching us, her assistant said. Good, she replied. Let them watch. Fear is a better weapon than war. But what if they attack? Morgan didn't blink. Then they'll learn what war with humans really means. She pressed a button. A hologram appeared, showing Earth's secret weapons, including things the rest of the galaxy had never seen. Fleets with no pilots, planets turned into mobile bases, star eaters powered by gravity. All hidden. All ready. Morgan smiled coldly. For years, they saw us as small, weak, forgettable. But now, she turned toward the screen. They will never forget us again. It began quietly. Just a few ships were routing around Earth. No big announcements, no official warnings, just whispers. But soon, entire trade routes started avoiding the Terran system. Even pirate gangs stopped flying near human space. No one wanted to admit it, but fear had taken over. Earth didn't do anything aggressive. No warships crossed borders. No threats were sent. Yet fear spread like a disease. Every major species started building defenses, not to attack, but to protect themselves from the humans. Because deep down, they knew something had changed. Aboard the Zarnathi War Moon, High General Trask of the Zarnathi Empire stood before his elite warriors. His race had never lost a war. But today, Trask looked nervous. He pointed to a hologram of Earth. This planet destroyed 47 Darnak ships without launching a single counterattack. One of his commanders spoke. That's impossible. No, Trask said. It's human. The room fell silent. They don't fight like us. They don't follow rules. And now, they're hiding something. Another officer asked, should we prepare for war? Trask shook his head slowly. No, we prepare to survive if war comes. There's a difference. In the Galactic Council, emergency meetings became normal. Species that never spoke were now sharing data. Rivals were cooperating. Everyone wanted to understand what Earth had become. But the more they searched, the more confused they got. Earth's surface looked normal. Cities, oceans, farms. But their data systems were sealed shut. Probes sent into orbit were disabled or vanished. Spy drones came back with scrambled memories. Even time seemed to behave differently around Earth. We're not looking at the same humans, one ambassador said. The others agreed. Something old and hidden had awakened on Earth, and the galaxy didn't know how to deal with it. Meanwhile, on Earth, underground in a deep control room, General Morgan watched everything. She stood before a giant screen showing alien fleet movements, messages, ship logs, and even private council meetings. Earth's AI had cracked alien encryption long ago. But humans never used that power, until now. A message blinked on screen. Another probe disabled near Jupiter. Cloak system holding. No trace left. Morgan nodded. Let them come. The more they watch, the more they fear. Beside her stood Dr. Ashwin, a lead scientist from Project Black Sun. He turned to her. "You know what they're calling us now." Morgan raised an eyebrow. "What?" Ashwin smirked. "The Silent Apex." She smiled. "Good. Let them keep calling us that." Aboard a civilian ship, on a small cargo ship far from Earth, a family of aliens flew quietly. A child looked out the window and asked, "What's that blue planet?" The father quickly turned off the window screen. "That's Earth. Don't speak of it." "Why?" the child asked. The mother answered in a whisper, "Because they hear everything." The Karen incident. 3 pirate ships decided to test Earth's silence. They didn't believe the stories. They thought it was all lies to scare the galaxy. So they flew near Earth's system, laughing, joking, broadcasting rude messages toward humanity. They passed Saturn. Nothing happened. They neared Mars. Still nothing. But just as they crossed into Earth's shadow, the stars went dark. All of them. No alarms, no lasers, no sound. Just complete blackness. One ship vanished first, then the second. The third tried to turn around, but its engines melted from the inside. When the remains were found a week later, only the last message survived. "Not alone. Something is here. Not human. Bigger. Watching." The message cut off. No one else dared test Earth again. New plans in the Council. Inside the Galactic Council Hall, fear had replaced pride. Chancellor Vorkesh stood again. "We cannot attack. We cannot question. But we must prepare." A member of the shadow species spoke. "What do you suggest?" "We offer peace, respect, and distance." Another shouted, "You want to bow to humans." Vorkesh answered calmly, "No, I want to survive." Back on Earth, in a private lab, Dr. Ashwin was studying something strange. Inside a glass chamber floated a dark crystal, pulsing softly. "It came from Europa," he said to Morgan. "We found it years ago." "And now?" she asked. "It's reacting to fear." "Not ours. The galaxy's." He looked serious. "It's feeding on it. Growing." Morgan leaned closer. "Then let the galaxy fear. We're just getting started." Final scene of Part 3. In deep space, an ancient AI satellite activated. It was human-built, but older than anyone remembered. It had one mission: observe, learn, wait. Its lenses turned toward a distant alien planet. Inside its code, a message echoed. Target list updated. Project Judgment begins in 7 cycles. And far away, on a peaceful alien world, a child looked up at the stars and felt cold. They didn't know why. But something in the galaxy had changed forever. 7 cycles had passed. Across the galaxy, planets buzzed with panic. Every species felt it. Something big was coming. But no one knew what it was. No wars were declared. No armies moved. Yet the stars themselves felt heavier. And in the cold silence of deep space, Earth's ancient satellite completed its mission. Project Judgment had begun. Inside the human Deep Core Command, General Morgan stood before her team. The lights were low. Screens flickered around them, showing quiet images of alien worlds. Every single planet had been scanned, mapped, and analyzed. "Is the list final?" she asked. Dr. Ashwin nodded. "We have identified 23 key locations. They are responsible for the early experiments on human prisoners, for illegal testing, and for multiple failed invasion attempts." General Morgan didn't blink. "Begin the cycle." Ashwin hesitated. "They'll know it's us this time." Morgan replied calmly, "They already know. Let's make it official." The first strike. Planet Zorlin. Zorlin was a fortress planet, known for its thick shields and endless defense towers. It was believed to be untouchable. Until one night, every screen on the planet went black. A single word appeared: judgment. Then, without a single missile fired, the planet's core overheated. Its gravity engine spun out of control. Within minutes, the entire planet collapsed in on itself. No survivors. No trace. The galaxy was stunned. The panic grows. In council meetings across the stars, chaos erupted. They said humans were weak. One leader shouted. They were silent for centuries. What were they building all this time? Others blamed each other. Some accused old enemies of helping the humans. But one thing was clear. No one had ever seen this kind of power before. Second strike. The Screen Empire's archive world. The next target was not a military zone, but a library planet. One of the largest in the galaxy, holding records of thousands of civilizations. One night, the stars above the planet blinked. Literally blinked. Then, every digital record, every memory, every backup, erased. The planet was untouched physically, but its knowledge, its history, was gone. Nothing left but blank screens. Inside Earth's council bunker, young strategist Leo watched the map of the galaxy lighting up. "Do we have to keep going?" he asked. "They're scared now. Really scared." Morgan looked at him with steady eyes. "They weren't scared when they stole our colonists. They weren't scared when they tested weapons on our children." She pointed to the screen. "They only understand action. We don't kill for power. We act to be left alone." Third strike. A message sent. The next move was not destruction. It was a message. A giant cube, the size of a moon, was found orbiting the capital planet of the Zalthari Union. It had no engines, no weapons, just carvings on every surface. Thousands of alien languages, all showing the same words. "We do not forgive. We do not forget. We are awake now." Every species understood the message. It didn't matter what language you spoke. Humanity had returned, and it remembered everything. The whisper returns. On backwater moons and crowded spaceports, an old rumor spread once again. They don't need armies. They don't fight with ships. They fight with silence. They're already inside your systems before you blink. And now, people whispered a new name. The Watchers from Earth. The Darnuk Response. The Darnuk Empire, once proud and loud, now held emergency meetings. "This is revenge," one warlord shouted. "We must strike now." But none of their ships moved. Why? Because every time a Darnuk warship activated its engines, its system shut down. Every control panel would flash red with a single line. Judgment pending. They were frozen. Their empire, paralyzed. The fear was no longer just in the mind. It was in the machines. Scene. The quiet planet. On a peaceful farming world, a child played in the fields. Her father looked up at the sky, where a strange shape floated, round, metallic, silent. "What's that?" the girl asked. The father grabbed her hand quickly. "Inside. Now. But it's not doing anything." He didn't explain. He didn't need to. Because everyone now knew. If something just floats there silently, it's probably from Earth. Dr. Ashwin's lab. New discovery. Back on Earth, Dr. Ashwin watched the crystal from Europa grow larger. Its black surface pulsed softly, showing tiny stars inside it. "It's growing faster," he said. General Morgan entered. "Because the galaxy is finally afraid." Ashwin frowned. "But this isn't just a weapon anymore. It's reacting to something else." Morgan looked serious. "What do you mean?" Ashwin hesitated. "I think it's waking up, something older than us." Morgan stared at the crystal. "Then we need to find out what before it wakes up on its own." Final scene of Part 4. Somewhere beyond known space, deep in the void between stars, a signal was received. A giant machine, buried beneath layers of frozen rock, began to power up. Its eyes lit with soft, red light. A voice, ancient and cold, echoed inside its metal skull. "Signal confirmed. Terra Protocol unlocked. Phase 2 begins." And far away, on Earth, General Morgan suddenly stopped walking. She felt it in her bones. Something was coming, and it wasn't human. The stars looked the same, quiet, peaceful. But deep in the black space between galaxies, something old had begun to move. Not human, not alien, older than both. And it had just opened its eyes. Back on Earth, Europa Lab. Dr. Ashwin stared at the black crystal. Its glow was stronger now. Inside, stars were spinning. Tiny, perfect galaxies trapped inside a cube. "General," he whispered into the comm. "It's changing again." Morgan appeared on the screen. "How bad?" Ashwin hesitated. "It's no longer reacting to the galaxy." She raised an eyebrow. "Then what?" He looked up, afraid. "It's reacting to something outside the galaxy, something far older, and it's calling back, somewhere beyond the galactic edge." The machine woke fully now. Its huge body shook off frozen dust. Giant gears turned. It had waited thousands of years. But now, the signal from Earth's weapon had reached it, and in its deep metal mind, one purpose repeated: correct the error, destroy the children of Terra. Around it, other machines began to light up. Hundreds of them. Then thousands. The forgotten makers were coming. Council meeting in panic. On the galactic homeworld, alien leaders screamed at each other. The humans started this. No, something worse is coming. Is it them? The ones who made the dark engines? Most had only heard legends, stories of ancient machines that once ruled the stars, before life had even begun. Now those stories weren't myths anymore. They were real, and they were coming back. Humanity's move. On Earth, the Defense Council moved fast. Morgan stood in front of the world leaders. "The galaxy is scared, but not of us anymore. There's something worse out there." She pointed at a giant map in the air. Red dots blinked across the void. "They're machines. Ancient. We think they created the first war engines billions of years ago." Then disappeared. Leo, the young strategist, frowned. "Why now? Why wake up now?" Ashwin's voice came through. "Because we touched their tools. We woke their tech. We used something they thought we couldn't understand." He paused. "And now, they want it back." Project Dawnfire. Earth activated its final protocol. Project Dawnfire. Massive dark matter warships, hidden for decades under the ice of Titan and Pluto, rose into orbit. They weren't made to conquer. They were made to survive the end of everything. The machine war begins. It started fast. The first ancient ship arrived near a colony in Sector Theta 12. It didn't send a message. It didn't scan. It simply erased the planet with a beam of light. No sound, no explosion, just nothing left. Earth responded. The warships of Dawnfire met the machines above the gas giant Xenos. Humans didn't speak. They attacked. And for the first time in millions of years, the ancient machines lost. A secret revealed. Dr. Ashwin stared at the black crystal as it floated above his lab table. "It's not just energy," he said slowly. "It's memory." Morgan frowned. "Memory of what?" Ashwin looked at her. "Of every species that came before us. Every war. Every machine. Every rise. And every fall." He swallowed hard. "It means Earth isn't just a planet. It's a final step. A reset button." Morgan whispered, "We were never meant to evolve this far." Ashwin nodded. "But we did. And now the universe is trying to fix that." Earth's message to the galaxy. Across the galaxy, a message was sent in every known language. "We did not ask for this war. We only asked to be left alone. But we will not run. We will not kneel. We are the voice of the forgotten, the guardians of memory. If the universe wants a fight, then we will show it what fear truly means." And with that, the last human fleet jumped toward the void. Final battle. The Silent Zone. In the empty space between galaxies, the human fleet faced the ancient machine swarm. There were no planets, no stars, only silence. Then came the light. Weapons fired that bent space. Shields melted. Ships disappeared. But the humans didn't break. For every ship lost, 2 more pushed forward. At the heart of the swarm, one machine sent a signal to its brothers. These creatures are not like before. They adapt. They endure. They remember pain and turn it into fire. Retreat or be destroyed. The machine retreat. One by one, the ancient machines pulled back. They had never lost a war. Until now. And they left behind one final warning. The galaxy belongs to them now. But we will watch. We will wait. Until they forget again. Aftermath. A new name. Humanity didn't celebrate. They had survived. But at a cost. Earth remained quiet. Her people rebuilt, watched the stars, and prepared. Across the galaxy, one title echoed louder than ever. The day the galaxy changed forever. But among the stars, the aliens used a simpler name. The day the humans woke up. Final scene. On a quiet hill on Mars, young Leo stood beside General Morgan. "Do you think they'll return?" he asked. Morgan looked up at the night sky, now filled with Earth's patrol fleets, silent and strong. "Maybe," she said, "but this time, we won't be ignored." The war was over. The machines had retreated. But the galaxy was not calm. Fear now had a name. And that name was humanity. Alien worlds go silent. Across the stars, entire planets that once laughed at humans now shut their gates. Alien governments stopped all contact. Trade routes were closed. All ships were ordered to avoid human space. In the Great Galactic Library, historians updated one entry. Humans, highly dangerous, highly intelligent, capable of adapting to unknown threats. Avoid at all costs. Even the boldest races, the warlike Bragtul, the shadowy Vernak, the proud Eldari, stayed quiet. None wanted to test Earth again. Council in secret. Inside the Galactic Council, fear spread faster than light. A secret meeting was held. No one expected them to survive. They didn't just survive. They won. They used forgotten tech, faced the ancient machines, and destroyed them. One elder whispered, "They were ignored once. That was our mistake. We thought them weak. Now we fear them because we know what they can do." Another said, "It's not fear of the unknown anymore. It's fear of the known." Earth doesn't celebrate. But on Earth, there were no parades, no cheers, no victory songs. People remembered the lives lost, the colonies burned, the ships that never returned. General Morgan stood on the Tower of Silence, watching Earth's orbit, where warships moved slowly like sharks circling a dark sea. Beside her stood Leo, now a commander. "They fear us now," he said. She nodded. "Yes, but fear is a sharp thing. It can cut both ways." He looked at her. "Do we attack first now?" She shook her head. "No, we prepare. We stay awake. And we watch who blinks first." Alien children learn differently now. In alien schools, young ones no longer laughed at humans. They were told, "Never insult a Terran. Never test a Terran's patience. And never, ever forget." They turned the old machines into dust. The image of the final battle was played in every history class. The sound of a human fleet, silent, burning through the stars. The last message of the ancient machines. Retreat or be destroyed. That voice haunted a generation. A secret message from the Eldari. One day, a strange message arrived from the Eldari, one of the oldest species still alive. They had always kept distance from Earth, but now they spoke. To Morgan, "You are not the first to awaken ancient fires, but you are the first to control them. If you wish, we will share what we know. But know this, something else still sleeps." And it watched the battle, and did not blink. Morgan read the message 3 times. Something else, older than the machines, still watching. She didn't reply yet, but she had a cold feeling inside her chest that didn't go away. Earth expands quietly. Earth began to rebuild its outer colonies. They didn't demand tribute. They didn't take over alien planets. But they expanded. Slowly, powerfully. Every human colony had a defense shield now. Every trade ship had armor. Every ambassador traveled with silent warships in orbit, just in case. The galaxy watched and whispered, "The humans aren't attacking. They're waiting, planning. Be careful. They're not weak anymore." Dr. Ashwin's discovery. In the deep labs under Europa's ice, Dr. Ashwin worked in silence. He stared at the black crystal, now dim, silent, but it pulsed once every few days, like a heartbeat, a slow, deep heartbeat. He had begun to dream at night, of stars falling, of cities crumbling, of a voice, cold, endless, saying, "The second fire has burned, but the third waits still." He told no one. Not yet. Not until he was sure. Unknown ships at the edge. In the silent edge of human space, far past Pluto, something moved. A tiny drone, built to explore dead stars, sent one last signal before going dark. Its final image showed a strange shape. Not alien. Not machine. Something else. Leo saw the image. Did the machines return? Morgan shook her head. No. Then who is it? She stared into space. I think someone even the machines feared. The galaxy holds its breath. Aliens across hundreds of systems stayed still. They didn't send warships. They didn't provoke. Because now, everyone remembered how Earth once asked for help and was ignored. How Earth rose alone. How Earth faced a forgotten threat and survived. And no one wanted to find out what Earth might become next. Not even the stars. Final scene. A small human child on Mars looked up at the stars. She pointed. "Papa, what's that bright one?" Her father smiled softly. "That's not a star, sweetheart. That's a Terran battle station." "Why?" "To keep us safe." "From who?" He looked at her, then at the stars, and whispered, "From everything we haven't met yet." The galaxy was quiet, but not at peace, because peace means trust, and no one trusted each other anymore, especially not the humans. Earth stands alone, but strong. Earth did not build an empire. It built a wall. Massive space stations around its borders. Invisible satellites that could destroy a fleet in seconds. Colony planets filled with factories, science labs, and military training centers. Humans remembered the pain of being ignored, and they swore to never be weak again. Council makes a choice. The Galactic Council met once more. This time, they didn't argue. They listened. They watched old footage of Earth's war against the ancient machines. Footage of human ships diving into fire and surviving. Of soldiers walking through cities turned to ash, refusing to fall. Then the council leader said, "We can either fear them or join them." A long silence followed. Then one voice said, "Join them and risk becoming like them." Another whispered, "We're already becoming like them. Look at our fleets. Look at our weapons." They voted. It was not a choice of friendship. It was survival. A message sent to Earth. A simple message was sent to Earth. "We recognize your strength. We offer alliance, not as rulers, not as slaves, but as equals. Please, let us not fear each other anymore." It reached Earth in hours. General Morgan read it in silence. She didn't answer right away. Dr. Ashwin's warning. Deep under Europa's ice, Dr. Ashwin finally spoke. He stood before the Terran Science Council, holding the black crystal. It now pulsed faster. He looked tired, older than before. His voice shook as he spoke. The machines weren't the greatest threat. This crystal was part of something older, Something still waking up. It knows Earth now. It saw what we did. And it's watching. Someone asked, "What is it?" Ashwin said only 3 words. It remembers fear. First contact. Again. Then, without warning, new ships arrived. Not from the Council. Not from any known race. They were massive. Black. Silent. One appeared near Saturn. Another near Proxima Colony. A third above the ruins of Ciros Prime. They didn't fire. They didn't speak. They just watched. Earth sent a message. State your purpose. No reply. Earth sent fleets. The ships moved away slowly, not running, just drifting back into the dark, like shadows that had seen enough. For now, a child speaks the future. Back on Mars, the same little girl stood at her window again. She pointed at a distant light and asked, "Papa, is that another Terran battle station?" Her father looked again. "No, sweetheart. That's something else." "Is it bad?" He knelt down. "We don't know yet. Are we ready?" He smiled slowly. "We're human. We're always ready." Galactic map changed forever. Across the galaxy, the star maps were updated. Where Earth used to be marked as minor, it was now marked in bright red. Terran Domain. Status: extreme caution. Notes: do not engage without permission. Do not underestimate. Capable of destroying ancient threats. Some maps even had a warning in bold. If you travel near Earth, remember what happened last time. The Council's final words. At the end of the year, the Council released a final message to all species. We once ignored the Terrans. That was a mistake. They faced the darkness and survived. Some fear them, others admire them, but no one forgets them. Because when the stars trembled, it was not from war. It was from a human voice saying, "We're not done yet." The story doesn't end. Earth didn't become an empire. It didn't take over the galaxy. But something had changed. Now, when humans entered a room, others stood still. Now, when humans spoke, others listened. And somewhere in the deep, ancient dark, something still watched, waiting. But it knew one thing clearly now. Humanity was not afraid. Final scene. General Morgan stood in Earth's main command center. She looked at a screen showing distant stars blinking one by one. Leo stood beside her. "You think they'll come back?" Morgan nodded. "They always come back." "And us?" She smiled. "We'll be ready. We always are." They stood there in silence. 2 humans among the stars. And the stars remembered.